What?
You asked too many.
Here, bring this a little closer up to you.
If you had one job. What's up, everybody? This is the Glow Up with Nikki. I got my people in the studio, Dr. Napanji Thomas. What's up?
What up, South Detroit?
And I got Ken Snap. Say what's up.
And what's going on? What's going on?
Oh, Ken, you being all lame.
I know, right?
You're not even enthusiastic.
Come on, man.
This is Nikki's first show, and you gonna be a party
And you my
and stuff.
first guest. Come on, what's up? Come on, let's try this again. No. We gonna try this one more time.
One more again.
One more again. Okay, you wanna
We
practice?
gonna put you out.
It's gonna sound the same.
All right, come on.
Okay.
All right. Replay it in your head. What's up, Ken Snap?
What's going on? That's all I got.
That's all he got, y'all. That's all he got. All right, this
You won't be back, you know that,
I
right?
know.
He messed up already, right?
Messed up.
He had one job to be hype.
Man, that was hype for me.
That was hype.
That was hype.
So what's chill?
I don't have any words. Then I'm me. Like I'm just relaxed. Like a lot of people think, like they say I got resting face or whatever. Like this happened last time. What was it? 2 days ago. I was on the radio, and people like smile. I was like, for what?
Oh my god.
I was like, what do you? Like,
Okay, all right. So
But I'm not a mean person. Just let everybody know that I'm not a mean person.
he not a
I'm
mean
a nice
person.
I'm a
He
person.
nice, but you know he just
I
a
don't.
little whack. Just you know.
I guess I get it from my dad. You know, he look the same. He look way meaner than I do.
Way meaner than you.
Way meaner.
Well, I hope your dad is listening to this so he
I hope
knows
he is
that
too.
you know that he looks way meaner than you do.
Oh yeah.
But
Right.
tell everybody about your show. What's going on? Why are we here today?
Well, first of all, I am taking your place, right? So we had Dr. T in the studio talking all things mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So, you
Yeah.
know, I am taking the slot and I will continue to talk about mental health on all fours.
Yay!
But-
I'm so happy to hear that.
But I'm only addressing women issues and women empowerment. That's why this is the Glow Up. Of course, and you know, those men that support women empowerment.
You just left us out
You know,
of there.
like
Okay, I'm with
Ken
that.
Snap.
Just left us out of there.
I mean, you
Are
know,
at the wrong show today?
no, you're not at the wrong show. This is the Glow Up with Nikki.
Okay,
All right.
I'm in the right place.
So you ready to glow up with Nikki?
Sure. Yes. Is that good? Is that
He's not
enthusiastic
ready.
enough?
He ain't ready.
Okay.
You know what? I
Not
think we
ready
should have
yet.
practiced this before we came
Right.
on.
Oh,
You should have
man.
came in and be like, yo, what's up? I'm so hyped to be here. You know, you're not.
I know something.
I feel like I'm getting attacked.
You
but,
are.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what happens. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we
So
just
men,
can't.
be careful. Don't come on here and not be prepared.
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't right. You know, so practice your radio voice before you get here.
Be hyped, enthusiastic, and ready to go.
Play your hype music on the way here. If that's what's gonna get you started, what would you listen to on the way here?
He listened to some
Like some
Donnie
jazz or
McClurkin
something.
something, right?
Actually.
Wait,
I
y'all,
had a long
crazy.
day. I had a long day. Okay, so I used to have radio show. I wasn't,
You ain't
it
listen
wasn't
to-
horrible. It was talk radio though, and I had music. I like having music.
Oh, really?
I had intro music. It was sweet.
Ooh, you are fancy.
Ooh.
Oh, fancy. He
Okay.
had intro music.
Intro music.
You
Ooh.
just came in just throwing shots. I was like, all right.
Oh, so he had to throw one back. We get it. We
It's
get
all
it.
cool. We still love you though, Ken.
Okay.
All
I
right.
know.
I appreciate
Still
it.
love you, Miss.
No.
Oh, for Okay, you know what?
So, Nikki, let me ask you a
All
question.
right, what's up, girl?
Why did you decide to do this particular show and to have this topic and to really focus on issues that impact women?
Well, this show in particular, or
No,
just
your
the show overall?
Yeah, the glow up.
The glow up. You know, for the last couple years, I have ran into women. I have met women that has had dynamic stories.
Mm-hmm.
You know, have came from nothing and have managed to work their way up to the top. Whether it's in business, politics, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, yo, this is a real glow up. It's a glow up out here.
Okay.
And I don't think it's being recognized.
Okay, that's what's up. So you recognizing women and the contribution that they make to society?
Of course.
All right.
But, don't come on my show just because you got the business and you ain't doing nothing with it. Like, if you ain't contributing, like, to the community, like, if you're not going hard for the people, then, no, it's a no-go.
Okay, so
not for me.
So you're not just giving a platform for people to come here and say, oh, I own a business. I've only been in business for a week. And they don't have, like, a business plan or anything.
Well, no, I'm not
saying
saying, not like a
that.
business plan or whatever, but it's just like, you have come from nothing, you have self-made, and then that's all you are is self-made, and you have nothing to do with the community. You have no interest of helping
So you
the
want
people
that are giving back.
Yes,
who
if you
made
are
it
not
and
giving back, then no.
That's what's
this
up.
This ain't the show for you.
That's what's
the
up.
people are struggling. You know, help them out too.
Yeah, if you're struggling, yeah. Because it's the glow up. I mean, once upon a time I was struggling. I understand. But if you have made it and then you're just like, well, I'm the right now, and then that's all it is, then no.
Okay.
No,
All right.
sorry, sis.
So apparently you've made it and you've blown up.
I have not made it. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Ken, you ain't had no glow up.
I am an ugly duckling right now. You see me?
Well, I'm inclined to agree with you just because of the hats.
Oh.
Just because of the hat.
I think the hat is cute, though.
So I've been working on my boat, and it's hot, so I wear my hat to protect from
But
the
we're not
sun
outside
and-
right now.
And aren't men supposed to take their hats off when they enter buildings? Whatever happened to that notion?
Well, we that's a whole nother show. Men supposed to be opening doors, like
Okay, so I opened the door. The hat today, I haven't cut my hair.
You don't have your hair
did?
did?
I don't know how.
You got your hair
You
did?
want to wear my
No.
wig?
Because she called him. Because that's
This
her.
is a hat.
That's her head.
My wigs, ladies and gentlemen, I call my hat. It depends on how I feel to determine what hat I'm going to wear for the day.
Oh man,
So.
this is funny.
I tried to wear a hat, and between the hat and the mask, I was like, no. Like something had to
get a
give.
little hot up
It was-
underneath here, but
The weather started breaking. When it was cold outside, it was cool because it was keeping me warm.
Yeah,
But
you just have to get used to it. So
I'm
when you get
straight.
used to it,
This is
I'm
my work.
straight.
This is my work uniform, right?
we just rubbing you. We're
I know, right? Welcome to the glow up.
Hey.
Okay. All right. I see what type of show it is. I see what show it is.
So when you coming back?
I don't know if I'm
You like
invited
it.
back. I don't know.
Oh, you're gonna have to practice, right? I'm gonna give you a couple weeks. That's your homework
Practice.
assignment.
Practice for this show. Okay. Okay.
All right.
See, I like that. He's okay.
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 I think that was a sarcasm. Okay, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't.
I don't know if I quite believe it.
So the Globe is going to be airing each and every Thursdays from 5 to 6 p.m., right?
Yes, I am right here live every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Make sure you tune in because I got a hot lineup coming up. I'm about to be so unapologetic. My last show I was real nice and
Yeah, that was Girl Chat, right?
Yeah, that was girl talk.
Girl
Yeah,
talk.
I was nice, but it's no filter this time.
Ladies, you all are getting Nikki.
You really about
with
to get
no
Nikki for
filter.
real.
Oh my goodness. I would love to be
I'm
a
about
part
to
of that.
I'm about to hide Ivy. I'm about to send her back home. Ivy don't belong here. Nikki is about to be all up in this.
What did Chris say about darling Nikki? We're not gonna.
Oh, now that's a whole nother show. Darling Nikki.
Well, it kind of segues into what we're going to be talking about with human trafficking.
Yeah, darling Nikki. I knew a girl named Nikki.
I guess you could say she was a sex fiend, right? Is that how it goes?
I don't know.
Met her in a
I don't know.
hotel lobby.
Masturbating with a magazine.
Yeah.
Right? So why are you looking like that? First of all, this is internet radio.
And
We
we-
cuss. So if you have sensitive ears, this is not the place for
This
you.
is not the show.
If you get offended easily, this is not the show for
Not
you.
the show for you. You know what? I should have warned you first,
Yeah,
right?
I was like, I'm in, campaign mode, like I told you, and I'm like,
When you seen how my last campaign was, it was so unapologetic. I did not care.
look, I'm gonna let y'all do
So
we're gonna
I'm
be
gonna
nice.
tell you.
We're gonna be nice because we know
Well,
you're
we're gonna-
a candidate
okay.
and all
that. The
that
next
other
thing you're
stuff.
gonna hear is Kid Snap said,
no, Ken Snuff ain't say nothing. Ivy the Cole said it all. I said what I
like,
said.
It's 2021. You gotta be careful what you say.
That is
it's
true.
Not, you can't say willy nilly stuff. It can go one way or the other way.
Okay, well,
Hang it
quote,
up. Okay, quote. Okay.
quote,
Quotes.
Well,
quote.
we recorded, so
Yeah, we
run it
okay.
back,
Yeah,
run it back.
Ken Snuff ain't said nothing. Let's put this on the record that Ivy the Cole said it all. I said what I said.
Nah, what if I say some good stuff though?
Well,
But then
I'm
it's
talking
all
about
yours.
that part. That part. I said what I said.
You know, y'all two act like a married couple.
Whoa.
Oh,
I don't know
no,
what's
no,
going
no,
on
no,
over
no,
there.
no.
They're having a couple spat over here. I'm just gonna sit here and moderate.
Okay, so
mediate.
Detroit is a breeding ground for sex trafficking exploitation, right?
Yes.
So I'm like about to change the subject real quick because I don't know what Nathaniel is over there talking about. She done lost her last mind.
No, I have not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what I observe in my professional opinion.
Oh yeah, that clinical, right?
Oh Lord, Jesus.
So I think I'm gonna do a new show. I think I'm gonna be a matchmaker, you all.
You're gonna be
How
a
about that?
matchmaker.
How would y'all want Dr. Thomas to hook you all up? We're gonna do a show.
Well, you know, I only attract narcissists, but you know that's
so
all.
Kim, aren't you gonna be
Attract-
what?
about? See, this is where we cut everything. Just
Right.
just
Okay,
there,
so
just cut it
again,
off.
this is a whole. That's a
I'm
whole
still
nother
running for
show.
office, so,
So
Well, the people would really want to know: are we getting another Donald Trump for Detroit? We're gonna talk about that later.
I didn't say that. Dr. Depenji Thomas said.
Lord Jesus.
We'll talk about that in the second half of the show. How about that?
Okay.
We're gonna keep it human trafficking.
Yeah.
right
Okay.
now.
All right. Yeah. So.
Don't get scared.
I'm not.
Don't
look,
get
I'm from the east
scared.
side. I don't get scared.
Okay.
I don't get scared of not one thing. I'm just. Ooh, it's hot. That's all I know.
It's
We
hot.
have fans.
We got
going.
fans.
You need a
You do.
personal
It's hot.
fan.
Oh, it's hot in
It's
here.
hot, yeah. But
So-
Hilarious.
So let's talk about human trafficking.
Okay.
It's nothing new.
It's nothing new, right? And
Right.
the thing about human trafficking in Detroit is it goes unnoticed and untalked about. No one is talking about human trafficking in Detroit.
Well, I think people are talking about it. Not
Yeah, in
to the
January,
level.
in
exactly.
Yeah, everybody is
Exactly.
talking about it in January because it's Human Trafficking Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the other months of the year?
Yep, I
like-
definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
So, what is human trafficking? Let's tell our audience exactly what human trafficking is, and is that actually different from prostitution?
It's all the same.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think it's the same.
You don't think it's the same?
I
No.
don't think it is.
No, and that's a large debate that's going on now,
Mhm.
trying to distinguish human trafficking from prostitution. But you have been actually behind the scenes and seen it in the seeing human trafficking in the sex industry
Mhm.
as a dancer
Mhm.
and in the club. So what does that look like in the club for someone to be trafficked while at their place of employment? Because generally people don't think that you go to work and that you're going to be trafficked while you're at
I
work.
mean, but it's the sex industry, right? So, I mean, think about, okay, you graduate high school, right? So you have different career paths, right? Who's going to choose a career path of prostitution, right?
Right.
If you have other choices on the table.
Right.
So a lot of times what happens is, you know, as we talk of what human trafficking is, and where it becomes illegal is when a person is a minor. But that don't mean that 17-year-old don't turn 18
Right.
and still exploited and she says that I'm doing this on my own free will or whatever, you have to think about the years of abuse, the years of like everything that led up to her saying I'm doing this on my own free will.
So I
Be-
think
Wait, before you do that,
Yeah.
you are watching The Glow Up on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Please like, share, follow, and subscribe. And if you would like to be a sponsor or advertise with us, please email us at WJZZCoolTVofficial@gmail.com. And our phone lines are open, so if you want to join this conversation, do so by calling 313-355-6018 and join us each and every Sunday from 3 to 9 p.m. at 19730 Roston Street right here in Detroit for our Backyard Boogies. We would love to have you. And now let's get back to The Glow Up with Ivy Nicole.
You know, I left Ivy Nicole.
I'm
at
sorry,
the
with
crib.
Nikki. With Nikki. I'm sorry, we don't have Ivy today.
We don't have.
We have
no.
Nikki. I'm so used to just calling you Ivy, you know. So
I know, right?
I'll get used
My
to
alter
it.
ego had to come out for this.
I don't know, your alter ego. I don't know.
That's
She a trip.
That's a different show.
So we were talking about human trafficking and trying to distinguish, is there a difference between prostitution and human trafficking?
so. I'll say this. I think that human trafficking is it's multifaceted. I mean, because human trafficking is simply the trafficking of human. It doesn't necessarily deal with sex. You
Right.
have children who are being coaxed into running Ponzi schemes. You
Exactly.
see it across the country. Where
Right.
you
It could be
have-
for work. It could be for organs.
Organs,
It could,
organ
right.
trafficking.
So I think human
Yeah.
trafficking, and it doesn't necessarily have to be children. It could be senior citizens. You know, it could be senior citizens who are forced to do labor and other things to promote whatever
Right.
the trafficker has.
And then our older adults, they still have limbs.
Mhm.
People don't realize that people are trafficked for organs, limbs as well. So they have working limbs and organs that are marketable.
Exactly.
So
It's a whole, it's a broad spectrum. So I
Yeah,
would just,
it's a
I would
very
just
broad.
really focus on just the sex talk there, which is very important though. But I think we have to really look into what people are doing in 2021 in regards to human trafficking, and they say that Michigan is number 2 in the country, which is crazy. So it's not just just Detroit. We have to go
The entire
to
state.
the country, the suburbs, and then you go into the rural areas. Like they found one, like 15 people in one house or something, and it's like we're talking like that. You know, what's that one movie Tyler Perry just came out with?
I don't know what.
which one?
The one, The Fall from Grace. That's what it was.
Fall from
Fall from
Grace.
Grace.
I didn't see
I
that.
didn't see that.
Okay, well, it was human trafficking there. I'm not going to spoil it for you,
Okay.
but it was human trafficking there. If anyone is watching knows what I'm talking about. That's the type of things that we don't think is human trafficking. Like you're using people to gain benefit, monetary benefit or whatever it may be. But it's a lot. I've been learning from you guys in the coalition. It's really kind of changed my perspective on a lot of different things and using intersectionalism to really break down certain groups that are involved in it. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
And I tend to agree with you
Yeah.
because what prostitution is one facet. It's sex.
It's sex.
What human trafficking is multiple levels, and people are
Right.
literally
And sex
being,
trafficking is one part of
exactly,
human trafficking.
and then it also has to deal with the moving
The
of
body,
that
yeah.
of that person. Usually in prostitution, that person has one pimp. They have
Not all
their,
the time though.
Not all the time, but generally speaking, what we know about the traditional pimp and the game, you usually have one pimp. Usually the woman chooses her pimp, and she may have a stroll or a certain area that she's going to work in, and that's what she's going to do.
But a lot of times you have to consider the bottom though.
yeah,
Because the bottom is the one that generally brings you in. So it's not necessarily the woman looking for the pimp.
that's true.
It's the whole grooming aspect.
Well, all of it has a
Of
grooming
it.
aspect, but the grooming is still going to look different. Even
Yeah.
prostitution, that grooming is going to look different. In human trafficking, that grooming could start with a phone call or meeting somebody on the internet. So it's not.
Mhm.
It's a different process
Yeah.
with that grooming.
Do you think it? I don't even think it's grooming anymore. Like with these situations we have when we're talking about human trafficking, sometimes they're just picking people up.
Well,
You know, they're
yeah.
just
Well,
snatching
that
people up.
and see,
happens
Yeah,
not a lot.
right, and that's the whole thing with human trafficking. A lot of people have this misconception that traffickers are literally grabbing people from off the streets, throwing them into a van.
Like they see it. What was that
Right,
movie
and
Taken?
oh my god, that movie was, oh, it was horrible, but it wasn't, because part of it was factual, because that can happen.
It can happen, but a lot of times it's the grooming aspects.
Mhm.
It's the manipulation. You know, like here in Detroit, how many times do you log on to see a, a little girl missing? A
every
lot.
day, every day.
Every day you get some type of notification from the news saying that it's a missing girl.
Right.
So Ken, as a city council candidate, right? So I don't think anyone has ever really addressed this issue in Detroit.
We have one city council member actually that has, and that's Roy McAllister.
Okay.
Actually, two. Brenda Jones as well.
Mhm.
Both of them have addressed human trafficking. I know Councilman Roy McAllister has a mental health task force that focuses on human trafficking, where they even go into the hospitals and do training and things of that nature. So we do, and we even have a human trafficking task force
Yeah, we do
here
have
in
a
Detroit.
we do.
So I think Detroit, as a whole, they're making progress as far as trying to combat human trafficking.
It's never gonna stop.
Well, no, I don't think
Yeah.
it will,
No.
because you're always going to have people that have fetishes and desires for certain individuals. So as long as you have that perversion going around, and people that have money that can pay for it, because that's the whole
It's
thing. This is
disposable
a
income.
multi-billion-dollar industry.
Mhm.
So one body brings you $1 million. So that's property. You know, nobody wants to lose that. If this
$1
is
million
this-
off
right?
of one, but yeah.
So
So Ken, I guess I'm asking you, like, what is your perspective as a city council candidate looking at trafficking now?
Well, like I tell everybody, policy is my main objective with this campaign. A lot of
Mhm.
times we get candidates time and time again that have no real policy, that don't study and actually adhere to the city charter and the preamble of the charter and what it entails that a council member is supposed to do. So, and all that to say, I'm really focused on making sure that the transportation of our citizens to and from workplace, school, even entertainment, it has to be top tier. I know that's what we're paying for. That's what your tax dollars are paying for. We have to make sure that our children who say they do dance or they do sports or something, they're leaving sometimes 7, 8 o'clock at night. That's unsafe. And then they're walking past schools and buildings, and not schools, but structures, and buildings that are abandoned,
right.
which are, we all know here in Detroit, which are just havens for anything bad to happen. So my objective is to create this task force, and Ivy has helped, more than helped in this effort. But we're trying to board up these buildings and structures that are dilapidated, or just a place that anything bad can happen to our constituents inside the city of Detroit. So what we're trying to do is board up the houses, partner with businesses to make sure that this doesn't happen at these abandoned buildings. So oftentimes you'll see someone ends up dead and they're in an abandoned home, or someone
Because they're missing for so long.
exactly missing for
Yeah.
so long. Well, if you are discouraged of doing that and everything's boarded up, and there's a neighborhood advisor, a neighborhood watch involved in this process, or a coalition that's on top of all these things, we can start tackling certain areas. I'm never saying it's going to be the solution, but we can start deterring. Because one thing I always say about crime is that it's not crime until it happens.
Exactly.
So a lot of folks don't understand, you can deter things from happening before they become a crime.
Right. Start being forward thinkers and being
Exactly.
proactive instead of being reactive.
Exactly.
I know. I
Right.
remember working for State Rep Cynthia A. Johnson's office,
Mhm.
and I recall pretty much every day, except for as she had to be in Lansing at 9 o'clock, but she would literally drive around her district. If she saw abandoned houses, she would call the police department or whoever she needed to talk to and say, "Hey, I see it's a sticker on this door. When is it scheduled to get knocked down? Or when are you going to board this house up? Or I see
Mhm.
this abandoned house and blah blah blah. Or I see this um, vacant boat, literally
Mm.
left on the street. It's been here for 2 weeks."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Then anything can happen, or
exactly.
yeah.
So I understand exactly what you're saying, how we need our elected officials to be more proactive in combating blight, human trafficking, because these empty houses and buildings are magnets to drop off dead bodies or to have it as a holding spot because it's vacant. So who's going to go in there and see
No
if
one is
anybody's
gonna
in there
look.
being held?
So yeah, and this is the easiest idea we have, and that's what I want
Yeah.
to tell people. Like, being progressive isn't about creating policy that is so magnificent and has multi layers of different community benefit agreements and everything. It has to simply be for the people and actually make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And what makes more sense is, well, the kids are walking, or the senior citizen is walking down the street anywhere
Next to a
anywhere,
abandoned structure.
Right.
and who's to say she could have got robbed, she could have got kidnapped, anything, or he or she or small children.
Right.
I coach
Mhm.
basketball, and I know I have kids there, and I'm doing 4 different teams. We're not leaving till it gets dark out in the winter. So my biggest thing is
Which
to
is
make
like
sure-
5 o'clock.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And that's still early.
So my biggest thing is to make sure
Yeah.
these kids get home. I try to stay as long as I can, or if the kid has no ride, hey, you're getting in this car and I'm taking you home. Because that's my biggest fear is something happens to one of my kids and I was the last person responsible. And I take
Right.
that I take that wholeheartedly, and I don't waver in that. I don't think kids or anyone should be left outside when it's dark and it's cold, and even in the summer, even in the summer we
The
still
kids might like
yeah.
that though in the summer
Well,
to be
yeah.
left alone. They may like it.
True.
Yeah, but it still ain't safe though.
Exactly.
It's still not safe. But just elected officials, community leaders, church leaders, all of the
Mhm.
above, I believe should be a part of this mission, this initiative.
Including business owners.
Business owners, like, do you see something? Do you have the proper resources?
Right. Or would you even
Do you
allow
know-
if somebody came into your
Yeah.
place of business and said, "I need help, somebody is trying to traffic me or I'm running away from my captive." Do you know what to do? Would you be willing to let that person stay behind the glass and wait for the police to come?
Do you know
You
what
know,
to look for?
Exactly.
And just speaking from a former educator's
Yeah.
perspective, when I was working in DPS, I've dealt with children who were abused at home,
Mm-hmm.
involved in sexual acts, human trafficking at home. And like you said, education is key. You have to
Yes.
really understand what education looks like in the full spectrum for our children. They have to know, like, hey, oh, I saw that number, I can call it. It has to be communicated, it has to be properly
Right, just like that,
advertised.
just like that abuse. If your parents abuse you, call blah blah blah. It needs to have. This is what we need to have
Exactly.
going
It should
on.
be in all,
Yeah.
it should be in our schools. It should be everywhere. You should be able easily have access to these numbers and hotlines
And proper training.
Exactly, and the proper training needs to be conveyed throughout the entire system and entire curriculum.
Absolutely.
We're dealing with mental health, and I think a lot of people are focusing on different aspects of mental health. But
Mhm.
what really, for the kids on the east side that I was teaching and I coach,
Mhm.
what really is your mental health like? You gotta break it down. When
Yeah,
you
because
get
most
up.
of them don't even know what
Yeah,
mental health is,
exactly.
especially a child,
So they don't know if they have PTSD. They don't know
Right.
if they're
Mhm.
struggling from
or if they're
some type of
depressed.
disorder. Exactly.
They don't know.
Right,
They
Mhm.
come to school hungry.
right.
And it's not even just that. It's mom didn't come home last night because she was working her second job.
Exactly.
That is a type of PTSD that you
Exactly.
cannot explain to someone who has both parents, who has, things going in a way that they don't have to worry about where's the next check coming from. You know what I'm saying? So for a lot of kids, they witness sometimes single parent homes or even multiple parent homes. They witness their parents struggle to make ends meet. That's a type of PTSD that I would never want to bear on a child, and that's something that we don't talk about, and just in regular, because that child has this chip on their shoulder to never be in the same position, and any slight failure at that, they feel like the world's in.
Exactly.
And then they can fall into depression, then their grades are affected, and then
or go the other way, become extremely anxious.
Exactly. And then
that's a segue to trafficking, because now you're at risk because you're a vulnerable child and you're looking for anybody who give you a little bit of attention, can kind of love you a little bit.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching The Glow Up on Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Please like, share, follow, and subscribe. If you would like to advertise or become a vendor, please email us at wjzzcooltvofficial@gmail.com. And join us each and every Wednesday from 3 to 9 p.m. at 19730 Roston Street for our Backyard Boogie. There's always free jazz, free food, so come on and join us. And you are tuned in to the Glow Up with Nikki.
Yay, with Nikki. She remembered my name this time. Jazz, that sounds like Ken type of music.
I'm sorry, I said jazz, blues. I'm sorry, blues.
Well, that's still his type of music.
Okay, so I like the older.
You like an old man.
I am.
So so you know what? That's good segue. Tell our audience about you, Ken. And
wow.
Yeah. I mean, the old man that listens to.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I guess people who know me, like, I don't really like talking about myself.
Well, you're a candidate.
I know.
Right. So who is
Ken?
That's
what I'm about to say. Like, it's so hard for me to really to sit here and talk about myself. It's like honestly, it's a lot of things I've done.
So we'll do it different.
Okay, help me out. Help me.
Dang, okay.
And are you originally from Detroit?
Oh, born and raised on the east side.
Okay.
Oh, okay. He said that with confidence. He bossed up.
Well, I'm from the east side.
Okay.
You know how east side
you didn't bring that east side in when you came.
What did you go to?
So,
for schools.
Well, so I had a different upbringing. So I was born and raised on the east side. My parents were both union workers.
Okay.
Right? My dad worked for GM. My mother was a school teacher in DPS. They ended up, affording me the opportunity to go to private schools. So when I was 4, I was in my first Catholic school. I was at St. Ambrose, right off of Jefferson, Alta Road. Then I went to St. Peter's and out at St. Paul in Grosse Pointe. So I spent a lot of time in Grosse Pointe, but I always lived in Detroit. So I was able to, really connect with other children who did not look like me.
Okay.
And I was exposed to so much inside the Catholic school system, and I'm honestly in debt to the Catholic school system for a lot. But come high school, I went to Cass Tech. So that was a whole different. I went from being like one of the only black kids in the entire school to.
So how was that transition for you?
Because
that's a transition.
Because that's a culture shock.
Right. Even being black and still. So.
Listen, that is beyond your wildest imagination.
Okay, tell us about it.
I'll tell you funny story that I've never really told anyone. My first day, they had a summer orientation program for like 6 weeks. This is my first day at an all-black high school, pretty much 95%, whatever, out of 4,000 kids. So my dad, who's he's OG, make sure you wear good clothes. I'm wearing my Sunday best with like a nice summer cotton
to
shirt.
go to Cass
To go to Cass Tech.
With slacks.
Okay.
And some dress shoes.
Did
your
parents know where Cass is located?
Yeah, my mom went to Cass.
So she
so
knew.
She didn't know.
Look, this is my dad. He's
okay.
Is he from Detroit?
Yeah, he's from the east side.
Really? He from the east side.
Okay.
He had you dressed up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he went to
He
Persian.
knew better.
Okay.
Look, listen. I walked in there. I said, God, what am I doing? I'm shaking. I'm nervous. And this senior came. He was in summer school. And because all the freshmen were supposed to do the orientation, but the senior was like, "Bro, you all right?" It's like, huh? I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Man, you shaking?" I said, "What?" I said, "I'm what?" So then after that, I had my older brother. He had went to Cass before me, and he was like, "Man, look, Dad did you pole. We about to take you shopping." So that day, my brother took me shopping. I went to Foot Locker. I went to Champs. I had a whole different wardrobe.
Like the next day.
That same day. His
Oh,
brother,
that
his big
day.
brother
I came
hooked
out.
him
He was
up.
like, "What are you wearing?"
You got played.
So I had all brand new. I had about like 10 pair of gym shoes.
Are you the youngest?
Because I never. No.
You're not, okay.
No. I'm the oldest of both my parents, but the second oldest of my dad.
Okay.
Yeah, but I came into school the next day. I had brand new Adidas high tops. I mean, I had
Oh, you was
everything.
fresh.
I had some J's. I had everything. I never wore gym shoes, like, because I had uniform.
Right.
I had, like,
Yeah, but Catholic
I had
school, you
uniform,
better
uniform.
be in
You a real-
uniform.
Like, no,
real
I had
life uniform.
Like, we couldn't wear a 1/4-inch sock. Like,
Right.
You would get rolled up. Like, your hair couldn't be. Like, I had uniform. With the name on the shirt. Shirt had to be tucked in.
Where you had to have your
certain
belt.
color. It had
Yes.
to come from a certain store. Like, I am
What?
serious.
Yes.
Oh,
Shoes.
it
Oh,
was
they don't play in
real.
Catholic school. They
See,
do
I went
not.
to DPS all my life, so I don't know nothing
I have
about that
friends that been
life.
in Catholic school. I grew up with DPS all my life. I love it, and I think I have an excellent education. And screw all you Cass and Renaissance people who
See, there
think
you
you
go.
are better.
Wow.
Because
Oh, wow. The shit.
yeah, I'm going there because there's a whole bunch of people from Detroit and outside who think because
Oh.
they go to Cass and Renaissance
Poor
that they're better
kid.
We don't
than.
include Renaissance
Yeah.
in that
Oh, they don't count.
There's two types of people in this world.
See, oh,
Cass people and non-Cass.
Those that went to Cass and those that wish they went to Cass.
Yeah, see,
That's
that's
what-
the
what she-
bullshit that I'm talking about.
I don't
what you just
I don't
said.
say that. You didn't hear that from me. I just,
But you said it, and we can play it back.
okay, play it back.
Right.
And say that
And I have a
you
whole
said it.
squad behind me saying the same.
Yes, you will, and you will all.
Oh, he
be
done just bossed up a
wrong.
little bit, so now we know what
and see,
buttons to
but
put.
so that's how we know that most cast people are narcissists and delusional.
Wow.
So.
Well, she just gave you a free clinical
Wow.
assessment, though. She usually charges big bucks for that.
So, you know,
Yes.
it's funny, you know, when you get to
And
Detroit,
narcissist and delusional.
they
Damn,
don't
can you-
ask you what college you went to. What high school did you
Exactly, isn't it
And
crazy?
that's
Isn't
Like
that
your
weird?
college don't even
Like,
matter.
even people outside the state, like, you know, I'm always in D.C., people like, you from Detroit? What high school did you go to?
Right.
They'll ask me,
Right.
like, what college you went to?
Like,
What
that
high
don't
school
even
you go to?
matter.
And I say, Cass, they're like, I know, Canada. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so you understand Detroit culture. But
Okay.
it's some serious stuff. Like,
It
you know,
is. It really,
it's-
really is.
Yeah.
That's
And even like if
crazy.
you graduate from high school
Mhm.
and you go off to college and you go to college with other people from Detroit, they're like, what high school did you go to? Everybody clicks up.
Yeah, they do.
Depending
Everybody
on-
clicks
Michigan
up.
State is just a secondary cast tech.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
So,
I was-
what college did you go to?
I went to Notre Dame in Ohio, and I played football there. I was a football player. So,
You played football. What position did you
So
play?
I,
You
See, I don't
obviously
know
wasn't good because you didn't go pro.
well, actually, I did go.
Oh, did you?
Wow.
See, stop it here.
Can we Google that?
Wow.
Yes, let's Google
Yeah,
that.
you can Google it.
She's
Let's
about to
see.
Go ahead,
Google
it.
Ken
There's a
Snap.
whole
Yes.
bunch of stuff going to pop
Okay.
up on
Let's
it.
see. Okay, so go
So-
ahead.
Wait, yo, why she Googling it for
That's
real?
fine, yeah, ain't no lie.
She about to Google your
I
ass.
played football. I was a
Is it
multi-sport.
Ken or Kenneth?
Ken.
Okay.
I was a multi-sport athlete. I played, I tried to play basketball cast. I was too short, so I was on the practice team there. And I was like, bump
Okay.
it. Like, I was just too short. Let's just be honest. Like,
Okay.
it wasn't like I couldn't hoop, but I was just too short. But I played baseball and I played football.
Okay.
They didn't have hockey. I play hockey still to this day. I used to play soccer. The soccer team wasn't good back then, so I played every sport you can think of. I played it. But I ended up winning 2 state championships at Cass. I ended up starting off as a quarterback.
Okay.
Quarterback and free safety. And I ended up as a kicker because I played soccer. Because you got to remember
So
where I
you
came
can kick.
from. Yes. I went
I don't know
to-
nothing about sports,
I
so I'm
went
just
to-
listening.
So I went to.
You put number 31?
Yeah.
Oh,
See,
dang,
I
yo.
told you. So
See?
I ended up becoming a really good cook. I played all 4 years of varsity.
I'm glad you cut your hair because you look a hot mess on this picture. You know that, right?
Talking all that stuff.
I'm gonna. I wish I could show you all this picture.
It was in college days.
It's horrible.
It's horrible.
Anyway.
You look so much better now.
Anyways.
You're so handsome.
Anyway.
Handsome. No.
But I decided to not. I got offered the opportunity to go pro for arena football, and actually 2 years ago and this year I got offered, and I turned it down.
So why did you choose politics? Like, how did you get into that area?
How did I choose politics? Well,
Yeah.
honestly,
How did you end up in that arena?
Since we being honest and real, honestly, the only reason I really got into politics because I was so intrigued in the 2013 election. I said, how did this happen? How did a person who didn't make the ballot, ran as a write-in candidate, was able to garner so many votes? I said, huh? Like, I was able to be aware of things. I said, how did this happen? So I was just
impossible.
Right.
Like, it didn't make sense. It makes no sense to me, you know? So I was like, all right. I knew that my mom knew Councilman Andre Spivey, so I gave him a call, and I got an internship. So while I was in college, I did my internship.
So thank you, Miss Jennifer Snap, for getting him involved. Yeah, they tell us your mom's name in here, and Chino's your dad, and all
you can
that.
find my address on there. You know, like.
So hello, Mr. and Mrs. Snap.
It's just some crazy stuff.
I cannot stand.
I
cannot stand the tangent. Right.
But that's what I do. I research.
Yeah, my whole life.
Oh yeah, that is her job.
And it's irritating. It's like people's like, oh, you did this. I'm like, how do you know my dad's name? Oh, I know my. I'm like, you just went online. You didn't even do. You just went online.
Yeah, but that's a good thing because you don't have to talk as much because people can look you up.
Right, because you said you don't like.
I don't,
and then you can say it. But that's hot.
But
how
people
cool
do
is
that,
that to say
though.
like, oh, who are you?
Google me.
No,
that's a narcissist.
See, and I said I wouldn't do it. You know, and
like a narcissist would be like Google me.
And honestly, it's been even worse since I've gotten verified like on social media platforms. It's been even worse because now every time I say anything, it comes to the top of everybody's stuff. So I can comment like on like celebrities post, and you see my name. I'm like, why did this happen? I'm like, why did this happen? And people, you know, my stuff is public. Anyone can find me.
Okay.
So I got verified on Facebook and Instagram, and it's just been like the most interesting thing. I get friend requests from Nigeria, like just everywhere, because they see a little check mark, and they're like,
who's he?
and I'm like,
Let's be friends.
I am not adding you back. I've seen weird messages and stuff. Like, you would be surprised.
Oh, I get
Oh
it.
no, we know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I have the same thing going on. I have people. I'm like, let me translate this because I don't know what this is.
I don't know what
But
this
the worst
is.
part is I'm a politician, so like, say if I comment, like I would comment like on Bernie Sanders or Obama's thing, they'll say he's the reason of the whole world. Kid Snap, you're a horrible guy, and then they'll follow it. They would like send me a DM. You're just horrible. I hope that you understand that Democrats are the reason that the world is over. I'm like, I just said good job, Obama. That's literally all I said.
With a little hands up.
But the check mark, I'll end up getting like 600 likes, 45 comments. I'm seeing, why is my phone blowing up? It's because it goes to the top. Yeah, so you might think you want those problems, but you don't want those problems.
That's how come I have not verified my people. Why don't you verify? Like, no, I already have enough dings and rings and stuff going off already that I feel like, you know.
It's not fun.
Yep,
but yet you're still in the fight, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still in a fight because I'm low key. I don't do much. I'm just like, I'm very private about my life. Like, I am. Like, this is just being honest. But I just don't like people all up in my business. But people say, well, how are you getting involved into the public space? I say, well, being a public servant is totally different than people being in my business. Like, that's totally
You would
different.
think so, but actually it's not.
I mean, like, honestly.
But you can be low key because
you do
have some, actually quite a few political figures that are low key.
Yeah, Obama, you don't know nothing about him. Let's be honest. You don't know nothing about Obama.
Other than what he allowed us to know.
Exactly.
Right.
You don't know you might know 2 of his former girlfriends. That's because he put it in the book. No one's come out and said, I used to date Obama. I used to date Mary. No one's come out and said that.
Anybody say that?
Or Michelle. No one said who she used to date. Like, come on.
That's
two,
true, though.
Two high profile folks that are low key, and I just like to stay that way.
Well, good luck because you have people here in Detroit that be trying to get into folks'
All
business.
into your business.
Yeah, I mean, you'll
I'm the
have
cat,
people
so I'm
that
prepared.
will go to your through your trash and try to
See.
find stuff. These folks are ridiculous. You know, it's really really ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Glow Up on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Please like, share, follow, and subscribe. If you would like to advertise or become a sponsor, please email us at wjzzcooltvofficial@gmail.com and join us each and every Sunday from 3 to 9 p.m. for our backyard boogie located in our backyard at 19730 Roston here in Detroit. And we are back with the Glow Up with Nikki.
Yay, she remembered my name.
Yes, and call us. The phone lines are open. The number is posted 313-355-6018. If you have any questions for Ken, he is running for city council right here in Detroit. Ken, what does city council do?
Well, a plethora of things, but mainly, like I said earlier, we adhere to the city charter and the preamble that it states.
But what does that mean?
Right,
Well,
for the
let's break it
folks
down. So
looking,
basically,
that's like, what?
Basically, we ensure social goods, which may be housing, jobs, food, education, childcare. We ensure that these things are being ran properly by the city. We approve budgets and we vote on budgets. Well, I'm saying like I'm on the council.
Speaking it into existence, right?
But your city council member is responsible for in our area. Well, in our city, we have districts.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 7 districts, and you have 2 at large. So you have your council president, and you have your pro tem, which is someone who's elected by city council, and your council president is elected by the people, whoever gains the most votes. But each council person has their own district, and inside that district, they're broken into. It's kind of odd. It's kind of odd how it really is, because you have some folks who are on the east side, they're in District 4, who are actually in 5, and they're on the east side, like, oh, I thought it was in District 4. No, you're in District 5, but they cut like
that border, and then that's going to be a bigger problem once we do redistricting. So we never know what's going to happen now.
So it's really interesting.
No, you're running in District 4.
I'm running in District 4, which is the east side that encompasses from Ross all the way to Jefferson, and you take that all the way down to Connor, and a little bit of Gratiot. So we come all the way down to Gratiot just a little bit, and then we border.
So that's pretty much Joe Tate's district, or state rep. That's
so Tanisha Yancey, Joe Tate, and Adam Hollier. Adams district. We have and Stephanie Chang. We have a lot of that.
Oh,
so it's really
so it's
weird.
a lot of
Really
I
weird.
forget that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really weird. And like my district, we border all the suburban areas, so Harper Woods, and then we don't border East Point, which is odd.
Really?
Which is really odd. That's 3 borders East Point. So we border Harper Woods, and all the Gross Points.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So
to make it easy for people to really understand how deep east we are, we border all the Gross Points and Harper Woods.
Okay.
So what do you need for your campaign? Because, like, as far as you need volunteers, you need... Oh, okay. So how do people find you?
So we always need campaign donations.
Okay.
And we need volunteers, people who are willing to work and actually learn about the political system. It is very important. So we don't just want, if you think you're gonna get free food and a free shirt, this isn't that. We need people who actually want to learn how to get civically engaged. And you can follow me on any platform. This is my name, Ken.Snap or Ken Snap on Facebook. The website is ksnap.com. That's with 2 P's, so SNAPP. In any of those platforms, or send me an email at kensnap4detroit@gmail. So you can get in contact with me. It's extremely easy, or just search my name like she did.
Right.
I'm gonna find you. So city council is made up of 9 members.
Yes.
And they are the legislative body for the local, for the local, which means the city. So, because some people don't realize, because when we're saying district this, district that, we have a city, state, and then we also have our congressional and Senate. So there's multiple.
So it's
different-
levels.
Yes,
to
there's
this.
levels to this
It's
shit,
levels
y'all.
There's multiple levels.
It's
but
levels.
I'm trying to represent people. You know, I'm focusing on the actual policy to get your trash picked up correctly, you know, on time, or to get a recreation center open. Like we were talking about the allocation dollars that your city tax, your property taxes go to. So that's finding money to go to. Say you want, like I said, say you want a rec center open, or say you want a community center open, so you can get involved with. I had an idea the other day. I was actually like, we need a community center inside the district where you can go, and it has Wi-Fi access, and it has access to copy machines, fax machines, all these different types of things. So I was like, well, that's a good idea. I'd like to implicate when I get elected, so that folks can, give them access to social goods. That actually makes their life easier. Not giving them free things, but giving them a equal playing field to those who are already successful, or those who are in other areas. Because 40% of Detroit is in poverty, which is asinine if you ask me. So, what my job as a city council member for my district is to work to improve that number. We want to drop that number significantly, give people access to jobs, develop community benefit agreements. Community benefit agreements are essentially parameters set in place, or rules set in place. So if someone comes in with development, or a new business, well, we need you to hire X, Y, and Z from this district, a certain amount of number of people who are Detroiters, so that they can start working inside the district and build our tax base. And if you want city help and city assistance, you need to do these things. So we need to start doing that. And also with the land bank situation and the property tax situation, where $600 million property taxes were overassessed to the citizens of Detroit. It's a big fight. So that's what we were responsible for, the immediate things that basically your property taxes pay for. So that, to sum it up, it's a lot, but to sum it up, and another thing I would say is communication and transparency is something that your city council member has a responsibility for. We have to be able to convey messages and what's happening, certain programs that are happening for the citizens, and certain policies that are now in place for the citizens. We have the responsibility and the duty to make sure it's conveyed throughout the district, which, oftentimes it's not, because, it's almost 100,000 people in my district alone.
Right. So I heard you say that you want to look at developing some type of community center where it's more tech-based with free Wi-Fi and all that. So of the 5 committees of City Council, which of those committees do you think would be most beneficial for you to be on?
The budget committee.
The budget?
Yeah, the budget committee for sure. Just by, just understanding, and where I'm coming from when I say building a community space, I understand that my district is the most barren when it comes to broadband access. So that means we don't have access to internet in my district. We are the highest in the city in my district alone. So the red zone and around those areas, the red zone would be District 3, but in my district, District 4, we are the highest in lack of access to broadband. So there's a digital gap and digital divide, and that's only because of budgeting.
Okay.
Essentially, because we have to have access to internet. It's a necessity now. It's not.
It
it's
is a
not
necessity now.
It's not an extracurricular thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's a necessity. You literally have children who have not logged on to online classes the entire year because they do not have access to broadband. They don't have a laptop that can actually process the material that's coming in. The processors are horrible, so they're trying to work off a phone that's not capable enough to handle the assignments and tasks that they need to do to submit.
Right.
So when you explain that to people, how do you bridge that gap? How do you bridge the digital divide gap? Well, that's only from money allocated from certain programs and budgeting.
Right.
So we have to make sure we shift those dollars to bridging this digital divide gap, and explain it to folks who don't understand it. Why would we be putting more money into technology?
Right. And we actually, here in Michigan, period, we have low internet service, poor internet service in the state of Michigan overall, just because of where we're placed. So we
Mhm.
need to even look at that as a whole for across Michigan to see how can we increase our internet access, because it's not just a problem for the children to do their work or for people that are at work. It's a problem, period,
Exactly.
for Michigan with internet accessibility.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to tackle.
Right,
but,
right,
you know,
right.
It's
it's
just
a-
like an
it's a few
hour is
things.
not enough to even talk about.
it's
Yeah,
not,
it's
and
not,
unfortunately, we actually come to the end of your show.
I know it is the end of our
Yes,
show.
Yes.
So I want to let everybody know to meet Ken and I this Saturday at the Spirit of Detroit at 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
For-
1 p.m.
for
for the
human
human
trafficking-
trafficking rally.
Right, and then join in each and every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. and join the Glow Up with Nikki right here on WJZZ Cool TV. Catch you all next week.